Whenever Brian Keating stops by, we get to be amazed by some of his world travels, and today is no different. This visit, as Brian is fresh off a trip to Alaska, you have some amazing footage of bears and whales.
I just got back. It was actually organized through Civilized Adventures, a little company out of Vancouver called Blue Water Adventures, and we traveled up to the Alaska Panhandle. So we started off in Prince Rupert and sailed north. Now here's the ship. It was a 70-foot long ketch. And that's under full sail. Here we are watching for whales, and it turned into an incredible whale watching weekend. Yeah, that's one of the many whales we saw. Honestly, it was like going back in time. Do you have the zoom lens on,
or you're that close?
Well, we were that close in several instances, but this is with the zoom. But look what's happening here. You see the bubbles coming up in the foreground. That's called bubble net feeding, and you can see those huge, long pectoral fins, and then the whale lurches up. Its mouth was wide open. You can see it right here, wide open, to bring in virtually a small swimming pool full of water.
Wow.
And that way it then filters out all of the water, and it backwashes the fish that it consumes. We had one whale breach beside us numerous times. Now these are Dall's porpoise. They're a very beautiful, sleek porpoise, and we were witness to an incredible hunt. That's a killer whale. You saw the Dall's porpoise on the right. The killer whale was actually chasing the Dall's porpoise. There it is again. And we actually witnessed the kill. And there's the final moments. You can see the whale is spinning around, and it's consuming that Dall's porpoise. And that's part of the life cycle that you're sometimes able to witness. But the most spectacular moments were spent here at a place called Anchorage Creek. Look at that. There's a grizzly bear. You can see how close we were. The proximity was incredible. There's a wooden platform to view on, and a blind that puts you right next to the water's edge, so you can actually get at the water's edge to watch them. But look at this black bear. Look at how he just caught a pink salmon. Anchorage Creek is known for it's the largest pink salmon run in this part of Alaska. The bears were virtually dripping out of the woods at times, and here's one that came and squeezed into a rock crevice, and a moment later had
just
a fish.
like that.
And watch this, right? Bang, right in. Some of them were very good at it. Others were like John Wayne with too much to drink. Now the outhouse, there's my wife in the outhouse. Look at her eyeball. You can see her there looking through.
And stay in there.
We had to yell to her to stay there, wait for the bear to pass. And you can see how the viewing platform is a few meters away from the outhouse. And then my wife quietly escaped a moment later and went back. So there's never been an injury situation in this location. This is another bear viewing location called Pack Creek, and we had several sightings of this mom with her 2 cubs and numerous other grizzly bears. Look at this, right a little swat across the face. And there's my wife in the foreground, so you can see we just stand in an open area and watch the bears. But I have to say, this was the highlight right here. This is a female with 4 cubs. And the last time the locals said that a grizzly bear had 4 cubs in this area was over 20 years ago. Very rare to have that many, and I guess the 4 cubs is kind of an indication of how incredibly rich this part of the world is. There's some of the best salmon fishery anywhere, and this year is an excellent run. You've probably heard it in the press. An excellent series of runs of salmon on the West Coast. But look at this. You're seeing 3 little cubs here, and watch what happens. There's 3. They're following mom very eagerly up into the woods to watch, and there's the 4th. So 4 grizzly bear cubs, and an incredible sighting opportunity. So that's the kind of week it was, and that was just a couple of weeks ago.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And there's another opportunity for people to maybe have the opportunity to see that.
Well, that's right. There's a new type of program that Classic Canadian Tours, the same company that does the one-day polar bear watching trips. I went with him this spring to go and watch grizzly bears up in the Kootzmatine. So we fly into Prince Rupert out of Calgary on a charter airplane, and it's a one-day adventure to look for grizzly bears. And we saw 8 grizzly bears on the trip that I did this last spring. So that's going to be for next year.
Okay, spectacular. As always, such a treat, Brian. Wonderful to chat with you and to catch up. We could talk for days.